Don't think you want one of our cars. Don't think you want to harm my fiance. Because now you just turned into a hobby.
Bullseye Training Options. We got Lamont Taylor and LaTonia Reid. Tell us how you got started and how long you've been doing it.
You want the long version or the short version?
We'll take the condensed.
Okay, the condensed version. I've been training for over 20 years. But there came a point in my work world where I said to myself, you know, after all this time, your paycheck can be taken from you, or, you know, given the circumstances I was under in my personal work world, I said, what do I do best? And I said, firearms. So it was time to branch out, pray about it, and start something different. And that's the short version of where Bullseye
Take something that you have fun with and make it into something that you can actually make money with. That's a good thing. And a lot of times it doesn't start out that you're trying to make money. It's just trying to help is usually what happens.
And that's true. You know, you can't focus on the money issue.
Absolutely.
You know, if you chase money, it's like chasing a dog's tail. You know, you will always be chasing it. Thanks for being patient. You know, I'm glad you guys were here to see, you know, what took place, and thanks for participating. But if you say to yourself, I'm putting my best foot forward and putting forth not only a product but a service that people want or need, the money will be there.
If you can find a way to help, you know, it's always, you always come back to the money at some point in time. So, you said 20 years. That's a long time. How long have you been doing this?
I'm going on 6 years.
Wow. Okay, so we got a lot of experience here. Yep. So tell us a little bit about what you actually do.
Well, 2004, Ohio passed a law saying its residents, law-abiding residents with no felonies or domestic violence charges on their records, can have concealed carry. And we not only offer concealed carry, but we also offer tactical defense when it comes to pistol or rifles.
Right, so definitely options there,
right,
which kind of sets you apart from some other places.
Right.
Which is good. And you do like single and classroom settings, right?
Yes,
okay.
we do classroom settings. We'll do individual training. We're also one of the only people in Northwest Ohio, or companies in Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan, that will come to you.
Oh, that's great.
As long as you have 5 or more people throughout the whole state of Michigan or Ohio, we will come to you. We'll bring our projector, the movie screen, a sound system, and we'll, you know, bridal showers, birthday parties, people who have nice rec rooms, patios in their backyard, will come to you.
Right, and that is something that's different from other options out here. So you guys started out as 3 of you guys, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I've heard you guys are expanding,
yes,
like expanding it big time. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're excuse me, my good friend growing up, his name is Alonzo Maulsby. Alonzo is dignitary protection in the military, and he was on the SWAT team. Well, Alonzo and myself and Tanya, by the way, Tanya's my fiance.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
We partnered up, and due to some unforeseen circumstances, Alonzo relocated to Florida in November of 2018. So that allowed us, the unfortunate circumstance of him having to move also gave us the clearance to start Bullseye Florida.
So you were able to kind of scale through. One thing I want people to understand is we always talk about, you know, things that people go through as business owners, entrepreneurs, or whatever. There's always obstacles.
Right.
So you guys had an obstacle. You got 3 partners, and then one of you guys has to move. Well, you guys were able to maneuver that into something better.
Right.
And now and expanding.
Right.
That's excellent. I just want people to understand that things always happen. You just got to be able to handle those things, and a positive usually comes out of it if you stick with it. So that's exactly what leading from the front is.
Just like you can't push you can't push it straight down right there because it's tapering right there. So you gotta put it up and back.
I do want to load one though.
So try that.
Oh, you got it. So Florida that's where you guys are expanding to?
Yeah, Tampa.
Okay, Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa. It'll be statewide, but it'll be based in Tampa.
So I know Ohio, Florida, probably different laws there. So you actually have probably something that's really unique because you can advise people in 2 different states. I mean, or actually 3 because you guys do Michigan as well.
Michigan as well. Yeah, right. There's a difference in Ohio and Michigan law, slight differences. But for the most part, as long as you follow the reciprocity each state has for one another, you'll be okay. It's not rocket science.
You never want to have a gap there, so that's perfect. So now, not at your back. I mean, not at your knee, but at your back. Lean into your shot. Yep. Now have your gun. Go. Now, duck behind your gun. Like lock those arms out. Yep, like that.
So you guys I know a lot of people they have hang-ups about maybe doing this because they feel like they don't have any experience, or they may feel like they have too much experience. Can you expand on that? How you guys help or make people feel comfortable if they say you have no experience with firearms?
Which half the students come to the class without having any experience at all anyway. So we basically start from the basement and work up, no matter whom that person is, because the first thing we want people to understand is this is not all about protection. You ask almost 100% of everyone that comes through us, and they'll say, if we ask why are you here, they'll say protection, and that's fine. The world is a crazy place.
That's one aspect of it.
Right, but I can buy you Air Jordans and give you a 23 Chicago Bull uniform and give you a ball. That don't mean you can play ball like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to be able to practice, and that's what we, practice to telling people. That's what we instruct. That's what we teach. Embrace what we talk about as a hobby. We make our classes fun. Take your wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, your kids, your best friends, your co-workers, go shooting together, have fun with one another, and that way if an unfortunate situation happens where you have to draw your firearm, it's hobby, it's habit, it's
something that you're comfortable with.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of times there are situations with firearms where people are not comfortable with them, and that's where you get injuries and stuff. So you guys kind of just make people comfortable with the firearm and to know it. It's almost like riding a motorcycle.
There's a stop and there's a break. Travel, stop, break.
Jump on a motorcycle, you're shaking until you get comfortable. You have to keep on repetition. Repetition. I know you guys' class is fun. My daughter attended one of the classes. She loved it. So, where can people find you guys? Where are you located?
Right now, we just moved to 1811 North Reynolds Road, Toledo, Ohio. We don't foresee any other movements anytime soon, but our ultimate goal is to build from the ground up.
Right.
Right now we're at 1811 North Reynolds Road, and you can find us on Facebook and you can find us on Twitter. Facebook, Bullseye Training Options LLC, or Ohio Concealed Carry will also pull us up.
And you guys are so through this, you also have clubs, or you have a club, a shooting club. Right?
Exactly.
Can you tell us about that a little bit?
One of my best friends, we say Daryl Dorn, but if you ask his mother, it's Darrell Dorn. Coach.
Yeah. What's up, Coach D?
Horseman. Anyway.
There you go.
He and I have shot together at the range for many moons. Like I said, we grew up together. We best of friends. And we were sitting at an outdoor range before, and both of us just said, let's put together a little club. We went to DeVilbiss High School, and the mascot is a tiger. So we started DeVilbiss Tiger Paws, and Paws is an acronym for pistols, assault weapons, and shotguns.
Nice.
But so many people would see how much fun we were having during the course of our shooting that we had to drop DeVilbiss Tiger and just call it Paul's Shooting Club because
because
everyone's not from the Villas. So Paul's took off, and we hit about 30 men as members, but the men were bringing their wives, and so Tanya said, "Hey, you mind if we put together a ladies division?" So with this logo right here that's on my hat, I designed the ladies logo off the men's logo, changed the colors, and Lady Paws was born.
Nice. So I'm glad you brought that up because Tanya, you've been doing this for 6 years, and I just want to make sure everybody knows, like, this is not just for men. You have women in class. I mentioned my daughter came to the class. It's really good, and I'm glad you brought that up just so people know, like, you know, this is not just for men. It's for everybody, young, old, come out and learn. So is there anything else you guys would you want the people to know about Bullseye Training Options?
Well, Bullseye, came from a perfect storm. Back when I graduated, you can buy a firearm at 18 years old, and I've had firearms since I was 18. But I grew up in an area of 8, 9 years old where a lot of the guys were shooting out in the country with their dads, grandfathers. Well, when mom and dad got a divorce, moved to another neighborhood, everyone in that neighborhood,
different culture.
Yeah. So now, the rap world was hitting in the late 80s, and they're talking about 9mm. Everybody wanted a 9, and it was a different culture. So after I graduated, I started shooting with the people that I grew up with that embraced it from a hobby perspective. They taught me something different. I continued to train. I continued to train people. I was always immersed in that firearm world. Well, long story short, once again, my job at the time went on strike, and I said to myself, what do I do best? Firearms. I can't rely on this strike. I can't rely on that paycheck. So that's where
come back to helping somebody and also doing something that you love to do.
Right.
But one thing I think is important is, like you mentioned, the changes in cultures, and you kind of bridging the gap. One place people are very comfortable with it because they do this as a hobby, they shoot, and the other side of it is hey, we need this, or we're seeing this in the street, we really don't have any training, so what you guys can do is like bridge that gap there and bring the comfort level to both sides, so people are not feeling like firearms are just something that are evil.
Definitely.
So again, we could find you on 1811 Reynolds Road.
1811 North Reynolds Road.
And also on Facebook.
Facebook, Ohio Concealed Carry, Bullseye Training Options LLC, or Twitter.
Well, listen, I'm glad I'm glad you guys had us out to lead from the front. I just wanted to leave you guys with a couple things. We normally do this here as a tradition. We want to make sure that everybody knows that you guys are leading from the front because exactly what you're doing. Also, we got a couple T-shirts for you.
Oh, thank you.
Here, there we go.
Thank you.
I hope this is a medium.
We got all sizes for you. We got all sizes for you.
And Tanya, would you hand me that right there?
Yes.
And vice versa.
I appreciate it. I'm definitely gonna represent this out here.
And vice versa. And can I ask one more thing? I know. Do you want to add anything?
I just want to say that we are really thankful for the community and how we've been able to get out there and speak to the community. The mayor, some of the schools have allowed us to come into their facilities to not encourage people to go and buy a gun, but to get gun safety information and to get more knowledge.
Just bring that awareness. And I applaud you, and that's exactly why I wanted you to have to be on the show. It's because it is all about information and knowledge, and that's where safety comes into it.
And then when it comes to women, reducing the fears.
Absolutely.
A lot of times our women come in and they're very nervous.
And she's a great ambassador for the ladies.
And they've had some experiences too, so I'm able to really speak to them, minister to them, and teach them something that becomes their new hobby,
That's
and they
great.
leave out smiling.
That is great. That is great. So listen, everybody, check out Bullseye Training Options. We got to support this. These guys are leading from the front.